They say that patience is a virtue. And Ghost of Tsushima wants to teach you that virtue. Throughout history, samurai had long valued patience as a core part of their discipline and strategy, both in battle and in their daily lives. Used in combat, patience meant studying, observing, and waiting for the perfect moment to strike, rather than acting rashly. They would observe their opponent's movements and exploit their weaknesses. This calm and focused mindset was rooted in their Bushido code. This emphasized self-control, honor, and readiness above all else. This is even represented in the game, with Jin learning the mastery moves. These quest lines end in a duel, where Jin observes his enemies and uses their own skill against them to defeat them just as a trained samurai would. But the more prevalent example would be the standoffs. It's explained early in the game that Jin is uncomfortable with stealth kills, as they're unhonorable and go against the samurai code, and so he chooses to call out his enemies.
Looking for me?
Upon the call out, enemies surround you and the duel is respected. Enemies wait, and you and your aggressor exchange glances and ready your weapons. The game wants you to be patient, just as your enemy would not. Sometimes they'll even flinch to throw you off guard. But if you're patient enough, your patience will pay off. The exact mirror to Jin and the samurai are the Mongols that are invading your territory. They are relentless, barbaric, aggressive, and overall destructive. They have no remorse for the people of Tsushima and will do anything to get what they want. But they are only human. You can have brawn or brains, but you can't have both. They're stupid and not trained very well in combat. Only recently learning the use of bow and arrows due to a defector on our side, they primarily use melee. Their awareness is terrible and you have the home field advantage. The game and Jin are constantly struggling to decide if it wants to be effective, efficient, and stealthy, or if it wants you to stick to its samurai roots. Why else would the game give you an option to announce yourself at the beginning of every encounter? Because Jin himself is uncomfortable with the idea of being a thief. Throughout the game, many characters will comment on how much Jin has strayed away from the samurai code, but as Jin states, that's exactly what is needed. Your enemy is terrifying and ruthless, so to beat them, you yourself need to become the terrifier. Become what you and the people of Tsushima feared the most and become an indestructible force of nature, capable of feats only thought to be possible in stories. Jin is battling with the thought of change in his mind and wanting to stay honorable, while knowing all too well that nothing will ever be as it was ever again. Ghost of Tsushima teaches you how to be a samurai after it teaches you how to be a thief. Why does it do this? Because it wants Jin's struggle to be the catalyst between you and patience. It knows the stealth mechanics that it has, and it knows that it does nothing that we haven't seen in a game before. The stealth in this game is so easy because it's the easy way out. Throughout the game, you'll learn forgotten techniques, speak to wise storytellers, and learn what it truly means to be a samurai. It's up to you to decide if you want to be honorable and live up to your legend, or take the easy way out. Just as the samurai of old, Jin takes the time to appreciate and empathize with the world and the things that he's gone through by partaking in hot spring baths, where you can reminisce on past events. Or Jin can come across spots so beautiful that he just has to stop and write a haiku.
Worries strangle growth. The earth's cold grasp underneath. Ready for the end.
almost freezing the game world in place and letting you breathe. The game makes these haikus more memorable than most of its other side content. The world is filled with things to look at and do rather than so many things to fight or uncover as so many other games do. Things as simple as fox dens where a little fox that I personally named Charles leads you around to any nearby shrines for you to worship, all for the price of some pets. With no skippable cutscenes or dialogue, the game forces you to be a part of it. While it's not the hardest game in the slightest, the game will demand that you take time to stop. Rather than rushing you to points, it makes you wait for the wind to tell you where to go. No more mindlessly running to a waypoint on the compass, now you have to follow the wind, which almost certainly will give you an experience unlike any other. The game wants you to simply walk around and enjoy it, otherwise it wouldn't be a dreamlike rendition of Japan. The art of patience means so much more than waiting. It means breathing, reflecting, learning about your friends and your enemies, and more importantly, learning about yourself. If you take the time to let Ghost of Tsushima teach you a lesson, I can promise it will be a lesson you will be able to apply to your everyday life with ease. Even if you can't conceal and carry a sword, just be more like a samurai.